curious minds, welcome to Project Excellence Prodigy, your one-stop solution for all things project management. I'm Govind, a certified PMP. And in today's session, we are going to explore a very important topic, PMBOK6 versus PMBOK7. You see, most project managers around the world rely on something called the PMBOK guide. It stands for the Project Management Body of Knowledge, and this guide is published by the Project Management Institute, also known as PMI. This guide is like a foundation. It brings together the most trusted methods, tools, and techniques which are used to manage projects across industries. PMI keeps improving this guide over time to match the modern day project needs. In 2021, PMI introduced the 7th edition of PMBOK, which replaced the older 6th edition. And here is the interesting part. The 6th edition was more about step-by-step processes, while the 7th edition takes a broader, more flexible approach. So in today's video, we will walk through what has changed, why the shift was needed, and how this impacts the way we manage projects today. Let's go back in time and take a quick look at how the PMBOK guide has evolved over the years. It all started in 1987 when PMI published PMBOK white paper to help the project managers speak a common language and follow standard practices. In 1996, the first official edition of the PMBOK guide was released. It introduced the 5 process groups: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing, and 9 knowledge areas: project integration management, project scope management, project time management, project cost management, project quality management, project human resource management, project communication management, project risk management, and project procurement management. In year 2000, PMBOK's second edition was released. It maintained the 5 process groups and 9 knowledge areas. Additionally, it strengthened project integration management to emphasize its critical role in managing overall project execution. In year 2004, PMBOK third edition was published. In this edition, PMI refined the project management processes and their interdependencies. They provided a better understanding of the project life cycle and how the different processes interact with each other. PMI introduced more structured ITTOs, input, tools and techniques, and outputs to improve the clarity. In year 2008, PMBOK 4th edition was published. PMI again maintained the 5 process groups and 9 knowledge areas. It emphasized the interactions between different project management processes and focused on improving efficiency and eliminating the redundancies in project management processes. In 2013, PMBOK 5th edition was released. PMI introduced a new knowledge area, project stakeholder management, bringing the total to 10 knowledge areas. It recognized the critical role of stakeholders in project success and encouraged the active stakeholder engagement rather than just communication. In 2017, PMBOK 6th edition was released. PMI maintained 5 process groups and 10 knowledge areas, and it expanded Agile, Scrum, and iterative practices to align with modern methodologies. It introduced 49 processes in total and added a new chapter on the role of the project manager, highlighting essential leadership skills. It focused on adaptive and hybrid project management approaches, recognizing the growing use of Agile in various industries. In year 2021, PMBOK 7th edition was introduced, and it was a major shift from process-based to principle-based approach. PMI moved from a prescriptive process-based approach to a principle-based outcome-driven approach. It eliminated all ITTOs and 49 processes from previous editions, and no specific processes were defined. They introduced 8 performance domains and 12 project management principles in PMBOK7. Here we can see the detailed comparison of PMBOK6 and PMBOK7. PMBOK6 is process oriented, means it focuses on the structured steps or processes that project manager should follow to manage a project effectively. It's like a detailed recipe book for project managers. It tells you exactly what to do, in what order, and with what tools. It has 5 process groups: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing, and 10 knowledge areas: integration, scope, schedule, cost, quality, resources, communication, risk, procurement, and stakeholder, and 49 processes aligned under process groups and knowledge areas. Each process has ITTOs: inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs. Inputs means what you need before starting the process. Tools and techniques, what you use to perform the task, and output, what you get at the end. For example, there is a process called develop project charter. So to carry out this, we need inputs as business case or agreements. For tools and techniques, we will need expert judgment and meetings, and output will be the project charter. On other hand, PMBOK7 focuses on principles, performance domains, and outcomes. In place of 49 processes and 10 knowledge areas, PMBOK7 has introduced 12 project management principles which guide the behavior and mindset, and 8 performance domains which represent key project areas for delivering values. We will explore these principles and performance domains in future videos. PMBOK6 is process based, which is perfect for predictive or waterfall environments where requirements are fixed and change is minimal. The assumption is if you follow the processes diligently with the right inputs, tools, and outputs, you will achieve successful project output. While the 7th edition is built on the understanding that projects today are diverse, they could be predictive, agile, or hybrid. So rather than telling project managers exactly what to do in every situation, it encourages them to think critically, adapt, and tailor their approach based on the project environment, stakeholders, and desired outcomes. PMBOK 7 introduces tailoring guidance, means adapting practices to suit the project. Tailoring means modifying and customizing your project management approach, tools, and processes based on the specific context of your project. PMBOK 7 acknowledges that no two projects are the same. Project size, industry, stakeholder needs, technology involved, organizational culture will be different one project to another. So we don't have to follow a fixed checklist. Instead, customize our project management needs accordingly. Instead of fixed processes, PMBOK 7 offers a library of helpful tools, normally grouped in models, methods, and artifacts. Models are conceptual frameworks like stakeholder engagement model, Tuckman team development approach, and methods or techniques like brainstorming, Kanban, earned value analysis. And artifacts means documents or outputs like risk register, issue log, burn down chart. These are provided as helpful resources but not mandatory elements. You can use what fits to your project. PMBOK 6 focused a lot on outputs, the physical deliverables the project produces, while the PMBOK 7 shifts the focus from outputs to outcome, the actual benefits that those deliverables create. For example, output is you build a CRM system, and outcome is the business sees better customer retention and smoother sales operations using this CRM system. Previously, a project might be declared successful if it was on time and on budget, even if no one used the deliverables. Today, the success means did it solve the stakeholders' problem? Did it contribute to business goals? Is the user satisfied? So this means the project manager is no longer just managing the task. They are delivering the value. If we summarize the PMBOK6 versus PMBOK7 in one line, so PMBOK6 says, do it by the book. And PMBOK7 says, think smart, adapt, and deliver real value. So that wraps up our deep dive into PMBOK6 versus PMBOK7. While PMBOK7 is the latest version, let's be very clear, PMBOK6 still holds a strong relevance, especially in large complex projects that follow a predictive or waterfall approach. Many industries still rely heavily on its structured process framework to ensure discipline, accuracy, and control. Think of PMBOK6 as the engine that powers the project and PMBOK7 as the smart navigation system that adapts to the road ahead. If you found today's lesson helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Project Excellence Prodigy. Until next time, namaste, goodbye, sampai jumpa.